longer, it feels like it's a punishment for actually starting so late. Because you guys are actually asking really good questions that I have to respond to, and now like my breakdowns are become a little bit longer. So I'm one of the few people who predicted that Esteban Ribovics would beat Daniel Zalhuba, and I should have continued to pick against Zalhuba because Zalhuba lost to Michael Johnson. That's one of the saddest sentences I've ever had to make. But yeah, Zalhuba lost to Michael Johnson. So Ribovics in at UFC Noche was fighting Daniel Zalhuba, and everyone was like, "Nah, you're crazy for picking this guy. Zalhuba is going to actually win this fight." And I'm glad I picked Ribovics because even though Zalhuba had a reach advantage, he didn't know how to use it properly. Shout out to Ribovics for that one. Even though UFC Noche was not my best card, but Ribovics actually came through with that one. So let's get to the actual breakdown of the fight. Um, Brenner at some point used to be like one of these highly touted, not highly touted, had a lot of expectations of Brenner. We actually anticipated, for some reason, we believed that Brenner would become this exceptional fighter. And to be fair to him, he hasn't lost to the most horrible competition. His last loss was to what do you call him? Joel Alvarez. And in that fight, I genuinely felt like I remember this pick. Yeah, I remember this pick. Um, this is the only fight I got wrong. I forgot what this card was. I can't remember like which card this was. Lucy Fox, Albazi versus Tyrus Kanto. Oof, yeah, no, I saw that, man. Thank you for that. He lost to Joel Alvarez. He lost to Maktek Robai. So, his losses have not been bad. He beat Kruchevsky. I think this is the not so good fighting nerd. He beat Gudabdeladze. He's been performing pretty well. So maybe I'm being too hard on him for his losses to Joel Alvarez and Maktek Robai. But still, it could get very interesting because now in hindsight, Tyra get the win. Okay, highly possible. Um, so now in hindsight, when I look at Esteban Ribovic's wins, it gets a little bit interesting, right? Because Ribovics in his last three fights obviously lost to Hakparas. He beat Zalhuba via split decision and knocked out Terence McKinney. And on the other hand, Elves Brenner lost to Joel Alvarez, lost to Maktek Orobai. Before that, beat Kruchelski, and then before that, beat Amkut Atelaze. I don't know how to take these particular or other wins, but yeah, it is what it is. To be honest, so let's get to the breakdown of the fight. Um, first things first, Elvis Brenner will have a reach advantage, a 3.5-inch reach advantage, which could actually be important depending how the fight is going to play out on the feed. Finishing rate, both of them are pretty good at finishing fights. Brenner has an 87% finishing rate. Ribovics has an 86% finishing rate. Power, both of them have power, but I'm leaning more towards Ribovics as far as power goes. Ribovics has an insane amount of output. He's probably going to be throwing three times more as Brenner, which is going to give him a massive advantage. Defensive striking, I think both of them are pretty average, but I think the equalizer is going to be the volume. I think Ribovics throws significantly more than Brenner. Wrestling, that's why Brennan probably might have a bit of an advantage. He shoots a lot, even though he's not particularly good at actually landing takedowns. He is better defensively. His defensive wrestling is a little bit better than Ribovics, so that worries me a bit. But I think Ribovics might be the better wrestler here. Um, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But officially, my subscribers and I are going with Esteban Ribovics. I love and appreciate all of you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Deuces.